Hey guys, this is your spiritual guidance from Nana. Long time no see, hey guys. I've been down a bit. The last message I gave that the Spirit of God is your ancestors are gonna give you a leg up. Well, I had a trial and tribulation with my leg and my hip for about 3 weeks. I could barely sit, could barely lay down, could barely get up, and went through a lot of things during that time, guys. And one of them is I pulled a spirit animal card for you guys to see what the overall energy would be, and an eagle came out. And if you know anything about me, you know that I love eagles. Eagles, I've seen eagles the majority of my life on t-shirts, on the back of cars, on the side of trucks, in movie theaters, wherever I went. So I started looking up the meaning of an eagle, and usually means that you have some prophetic gifts. Okay, you can see into people's lives, you can see into the future a bit, but eagles have always been a great part of my life, and hawks as well. I've seen a lot of hawks, but the eagle card came out for you. And what I felt like the Spirit of God was saying that you're known, who I'm talking to, you're known to see more than others see. Okay? You are born to soar. You are reaching for the stars. You're reaching for your destiny. You're reaching for your legacy. You're reaching for, to touch people's lives with the giftings that you've got. But the birds of the air can symbolize air signs. And so you can live up in your head, okay, more than you should. But the eagle emanates the light of the sun. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. You're going to let your light shine more, is what I'm seeing. Even through the dark times, even through the hard times, even through the trials and the tribulations. I know that a couple of friends of mine that live around me were helping me during that time. And, they saw me. When I felt down. They saw me when I was crying because I was in so much pain. They saw that I'm actually human and I go through stuff, but also after about, 2.5 weeks of still, dealing with this, one of my friends came over and she kind of checked me a little bit, because I was being a little bit negative. And I think I was letting some negative stuff rule and reign within my emotions in my head because I had been down so long and I wanted to see a breakthrough. You know how we want to see the breakthroughs now. We want drive-through breakthroughs sometimes, and sometimes we do get that with our prayers. We pray for something and here it comes, right down the pike, but then there's sometimes we pray and that doesn't happen right away. I used homeopathic remedies. I thought I was low on magnesium in my body, and I did a lot of sports medicine, the moist heat and the ice and I did everything I know to do, guys, including on calling on my angels and the Holy Spirit, and yet I still had to go through that. I'm coming out the other side of that, but it's been a long month, I'll tell you that. And some of you guys might be going through that, You might be going through the storms. They say that eagles will actually fly towards a storm. They'll try to fly because they want to catch those currents that the storm has. Or they'll fly above the storm, where it's super peaceful. But they still get the currents. The eagle is the only bird that flies closest to the sun. Will fly further towards the sun. Okay, so this card is just saying, grasp the sun in your talons and hold on for the ride. You are stronger than you think. And that's what I wanted to come on here and say, that you are stronger than you know. Even if you're going through some things, okay? Even if you're going through some battles, some trials, with your body, with your mind, with your emotions, this soon will pass. I know that's such a cliche, isn't it? Because when we say that, we want it to pass, the next day, the day after. Not a month down the road, or 6 months or a year or whatever the case might be. Let's see what else we got. We're going to do some more in your energy. So basically, you are going to rise up with the wings of eagles. You are going to run and not be weary, walk and not faint. Even though you might feel like it at times, your spirit team is going to come through. They're going to give you the strength. They're going to bring people your way, all right, that are going to help you out, okay? They're going to be little angels in your lives. It might be some people you don't know. It might be some people you do know, all right? You've got finding sanctuary. See? This eagle is flying towards the sun. Finding sanctuary is what I had to do. I had to find sanctuary in the midst of the pain. I had to find sanctuary within my divine team, okay? And in that, I uncovered some treasure. What did I uncover? I uncovered that even through super hard pain, even through super hard things and we still can't see, we still have to lean and trust, I still had to lean and trust on my spirit team to get me through because I didn't have anything else. You know what I'm saying? And in that, I discovered that I'm stronger than I know. I also had to turn my mindset around. When you're in pain, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever the case might be, and you have to, get up every day and gird yourself and try to do the best you can with what you've got and that kind of thing. It can get very wearing on your spirit, man. It can get very wearing on your psyche even. And you can start getting down and depressed. And I had to be reminded, that even though some trials and tribulations were going on, even though I felt like I was never going to come out the other side, all right? I had to believe that I could fly. I had to believe I could fly, that this isn't going to last, all right? So what I did is I tried to ground myself down here. In other words, I did go outside and step on the ground, in my bare feet, not for very long, with my walker maybe a little bit. But, I took salt baths and warm baths, with salt in it. And I tried to keep up my prayer life. And one of the main things for me, guys, during that time was putting on motivational songs, motivational speakers, that kind of thing. Because I needed my spirits to raise. When I was in that pain, I had to think of something else besides my pain. So I was thinking, why not put on motivational speakers or, tapes or something like that. But for you guys, you might be going through some trials, some tribulations. You might be finding it hard right now to find some sanctuary. That's just that quiet place, that you can spend with your spiritual team so that they can give you what you need for that day, give you that strength for that day, give you the momentum for that day, give you the ideas for that day, But you guys are beneath the surface of all the trials, beneath the surface of all the, things and that you're having to go through. There is going to be jewels that you are going to uncover. There's going to be treasure within yourself that you're going to uncover, as well as you're going to see the light of the people around you more, is what I just got from Spirit, okay? All right. You might be traveling lightly. Simplify your life. Support will be all around you. And that's what this new phase that you're going into. Travel a little bit lighter. I think during this trial time, during this battle time, whatever that is for you, because we're in tons of retrogrades right now, but, whatever that your trial you're having, just realize that the answer, I do believe, is right around the corner. It's right in your grasp. It's almost like you can taste it. Okay? So, sorry about that, guys. Somebody came to the door. I hope both of my earphones are still working at this present point. Okay, so you're going to be traveling lightly. All right. And what I believe that means is that this new phase that you're coming into, this new section, whether it's in your health or mental health or your spiritual health or even your job or relationships, you're going to be traveling lightly in this new season. It's like you're dropping off some things that no longer serve you, that, maybe some things like, for instance, when I was sick, all right? I'm one of those, I don't keep a perfect house, but I like a nice home. So I'll vacuum once a week or, clean the bathroom. I mean, it's only me, and the dog, so. But while I was down, I didn't vacuum for a month. My laundry's piled up, like everything I own, I think, is in the laundry basket. Do you know what I'm saying? I got behind on some things, but I had to learn how to just let go. Let go of some things that weren't necessary at the time to hold on to. Sometimes when we're in between stages, we have to let go of some things so that we can pursue some other things. Does that make sense? Sometimes when we're wanting to pursue a healthier lifestyle, we're going to have to let go of some things maybe that aren't so healthy with our food or drink and that kind of thing or whatever. But you're going to start traveling lightly in this new season of your life is what I really feel like. So you're going to be taking those things that you need to take care of yourself and those things that are going to help you with your giftings along the way. But a lot of stuff is going to be falling off, some old bills that you don't need to take care of. What's just brought to my mind is so funny because they say that you should check your subscriptions every once in a while, because sometimes some things that you don't even watch anymore, you're still subscribing to, you could save money in that way. That just came to my mind for some odd reason. But you're finding sanctuary in this place, okay, that you're in right now. And you are going to be uncovering some new truths, some new treasures beneath the surface of what you're dealing with. All right? Some of you guys are going to be coming into new positions and a new job. And you're going to be valued more than you were with your other place, is what I'm getting, okay? You're beginning a new cycle. See? You're beginning a new cycle. That's what the Spirit of God is trying to tell you. And they're helping you through any of these dark times, any of these things that you've got going on. All right? Let's see what else we got. Spirit, what else do you want to say to the viewer? What kind of action would you like them to take right now? Whoa. All right, hold on. We'll take the one that flipped up. How's that? What kind of action? Your intuition and wisdom gifts, they want you to use those. All right? Honor your inner ability to see physically and trust your gut feelings. Trust your guidance and the vibrations you feel. When you truly step into your abilities, all your senses rush in. Look into expanding your gifts by taking classes, journaling, meditating, listening to your inner voice. See, and this is what I had to do when I was going through that, guys. I had to spend some time in meditation and prayer, just so I could avert the pain that I was having. And I also was able to see how I worry and fret too much, okay? Inflexible change. You or the person involved are set in your ways. Somebody might be impeding growth around you because they're set in their ways, or you might be impeding your own growth. Be more open-minded and see the other person's point of view to expand your perspective in a healthy way. Oftentimes, being too rigid masks the problem that causes imbalance and unrest. Sometimes worry and fret, can cause a lot of stuff within us, can cause headaches, can cause so many different things within us, within our physical bodies, within our emotions, within our minds. Even we could drive ourselves crazy saying the same negative stuff over and over again. I know when I was going through my pain, one of the things I kept saying, especially when I was in deep pain, I was like, why? We like to ask that question, don't we? Why? I had a distorted view and perception, I needed to take care of my core a little bit more. I've been taking some more vitamins and minerals and supplements, but I was also given a really good anti-inflammatory that's going to help. But I still have to change my diet, guys. I still have to change what I drink. I had to move away from old conditioning, releasing old conditioning, falling into, blame, shame, and guilt, type of thing. I had to take inventory of what no longer served me, and that's what I was talking about. You're moving on to this new season, and you're just chopping some people and some things off that just aren't going with you. Whether that's worry, stress, doubt, fear, shame, guilt, blame. Some of it is hard to run from. It's hard to get away from. Some of you are in situations and things that bring up PTSD for you. I'm sorry for that. But there's a new shift. There's a new door that's coming available to you. And yes, it might mean that you have to start all over in some degree, okay? But I think for some of you guys, whether it's a new relationship or a new job, you're going to find, all right, that you are going to speak your desires. You have some unexpressed inner desires, often hidden needs or emotions. Some of you guys are going to be speaking about some new desires that you might have in this new promotion, in this new job, in this new relationship. Whereas you didn't do that before. Now you're going to be speaking up. All right? Somebody around you is friendly but deceitful. They might be two-faced. All right? Shared experiences deepen the bond between you and another. In safe place, a place where you can truly be yourself and feel at peace. That was, that finding that inner sanctuary that we were talking about. Finding that space. I think during this transit time, during this time where we've been reassessing our lives, reassessing, maybe spiritually, emotionally, physically, just everything. This is a time when we like to go and spring clean, our houses, our garages, our cars, our, and don't forget about yourself. Just coming out of the winter, or going into winter, into the southern hemisphere, I like to cleanse. When I come out of one season into the next, I like to cleanse my body as well, because it gets all junked up. So maybe there's a cleansing that needs to go on. Maybe you've been going through a cleansing of old conditioning. Ways that you saw yourself in the past. Ways that you handled things in the past. I've been finding during this time period of assessing where I am and which way I'm going and all that, which happens when you get sick or in pain. You start reassessing everything. I found that as long as I stick to my simple mission statement, which is to inspire and to encourage you, okay, blessings will come in. And I know this. I know that if I just step up to the plate, all right, and I do the job, step up to the plate and do the jobs, blessings and purification. There's things that were purified out of my life, not just the pain, but extra worry and stress that didn't need to be there. Some of you guys might be attracted to canaries, or you might be attracted to yellow, or need to wear some yellow to show that you're going on a brand new shift, a brand new step, a brand new avenue than you've went down before. All right? You are an eagle. You are flying towards the sun. You're flying towards your north node. You're flying towards your dreams. And there might be some stumbling blocks. There might be some hindrances that try to come up. But don't worry about that, okay? Because if you're meant to go in that direction, if you're meant to get that specific job, specific raise, specific relationship, it's going to come into your life. All right? Nothing's going to stop it. Except for maybe you, if you sabotage yourself. We'll split it. Community, enlightenment. You're going to have a whole new community. Some of you guys. You're going to have a whole new community that's going to be coming into your life that understands more of who you are and understands your vision, you know? They might be just there to support you too. You know, they're not there to judge, they're there to support you. You know, while you're getting enlightenment, while you're growing on your step too, there's going to be people that are around you that will come in and support you. I thank you to all my friends that helped me out during that time, brought meals and, you know, groceries and, you know, just helped out. It was such a blessing to me. And I'm sitting in my walker right now doing this message for you guys because I can't sit in a normal chair. But I know that God's got it in his hands. All right? Now, when I'm in the depths of pain, no, I'm not sitting there going, oh, God has got this. No, I'm screaming and yelling, crying, oh, God, please help me. You know? And he did bring some help. He brought some things along my way that helped out. We still haven't got to the core of it yet, but we will. We will. And that's, you know, happiness and power. You're going to start seeing this in this next phase that you're going into. You're going to see a little more happiness in that relationship that you're going to choose. You're going to see a little more happiness in that job you're going to choose. Because they're going to value you, is what I really feel like. I feel like that you're going to be seen as the big badass eagle that you are, you know? Eagles are bold, you know, they're strong, and they're huge. Have you ever seen an eagle? Oh my Lord, they're huge. They're massive. I didn't think they were that big until they flew over me one day. All right. And eagles, guys, normally travel alone. For the most part, eagles will travel alone. And you don't see that very often in the bird family, okay? Now, when they get a mate, they usually mate for life. All right? When they get a mate, they usually mate for life. But other than that, they travel by themselves. So if you feel like you're alone on this journey, even though you might be amongst other people, that could be the reason why. Smoke and mirrors, that came out the other day. All right? You're no longer going to be playing smoke and mirrors with some of these relationships you got going on or these jobs you got going on. You're tired of playing smoke and mirrors. You're not going to be fooled by appearances anymore. You're going to be able to see through the facade, see through the gaslighting, see through the ghosting, see through the trolls, see through the, you know, petty university, see through all of that. You're going to see through all of that. It says, loyal or not, someone is testing your loyalty. I don't know who that could be. Huh. Who's testing? Who could be testing their loyalty? Your own mind could be. Especially if you're an air sign. I see. Hidden agenda. Someone has a hidden agenda and motives. So somebody around you is not being loyal. They have a hidden agenda and hidden motives. I think you're going to have discernment. You're going to know who this is. That's what I just got in my mind's eye. You're not going to have to research it. You're not going to have to go digging. You're just going to know when they come up. I just saw a picture in mind of you in a place and this person walks in, whether that's lunchtime, the office, whatever, and you just know who they are. Joint evolution. You and others are growing together, supporting each other. See, this is the team. You got a team of people that are coming in, that are helping you. Someone is deliberately distancing themselves hiding their dissatisfaction. Somebody's giving you a cold shoulder, maybe. Maybe you're going to give a cold shoulder to some of these people who are just being petty. Cold shoulder, you're going to give a cold shoulder, and you're not going to petty university or drama school anymore. No. You're going into a new phase of trusting more of who you are in your gut. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, Spirit of God, what should we do next? I feel like I need to do one more, guys. Even though I've been going for a bit. Give me a minute to be able to reach down here. Okay. We're gonna do expanding evolutionary growth. Will you give me one or two cards out of this, Spirit, please? Oh, wait a minute. Those were cards mixed in there. What do you know? There's some cards mixed in here. Look at this. Mixed in this deck. Let's see. Taking the leap of courage. You have to let go of something good to get something great. See, we talked about that. Taking the leap into the unknown can be scary. A new door. False narrative. Discernment. Told you. Be mindful of the story you're telling yourself. Having a negative narrative is destructive and simply not true. Stop listening to your ego-based story that is laced with falsehoods and old conditioning. See? Old conditioning. We said we were going to release that. That's part of that old conditioning. I think somebody is also playing a false narrative around some of you guys, and you're going to have discernment about that. You're going to take a little more self-care. You're going to find that place that you need for sanctuary. And that's going to move stuck energy. Good grief. I didn't even know that was in there. Wow. Okay. I had a few more cards stuck in there. It must have been from some other thing, guys. So let's just go with it, hey? Let's go with it. See, River of Release is on the bottom. During this time, I think you're finding that you're releasing some old things in your life so some new things can come in. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. You'll see it when you believe it. Don't look back. You're not going that way. I had to tell myself that several times when I was going through this trial, guys. You know, you've come too far to give up now. You know, because it just kept going and going and going. You know, I didn't see any end in sight, and I would get down some days. You know, but God's grace and the Trinity, they had new beginnings for me, and I knew that. I could see that, you know, in my mind's eye, but it just seemed like it was taking forever. Some of you guys might feel like that. Did you just feel like you've been in this stuck energy forever, and nothing is going to shift? But I really do believe that you're going to start getting more of this playful energy around you. Whether it's people around you or you yourself, and you're going to start laughing more, playing more, enjoying life a little bit more, you know? And you're going to soar like the eagle towards the sun. You're going to soar that way because you are bold. You are stronger than you know. And I love you guys. Till next time.